Hey
30
guys,
seconds. About 30 seconds from going live on
here we
two
go.
six the net.
Okay, TikTok. Hey guys, metaphysical meanderings, and we're going just about ready.
That's it. The music will play here in about 10 seconds.
TikTok. I have a podcast station. That's where I am live. Hi guys, how is everybody?
Here
I'm
we
just
go.
waiting to go. Here we go.
Welcome to Metaphysical Meanderings with Master Psychic Lana Duncan-Hartgraves. Lana has been a practicing psychic for over 25 years and has the gifts of clairaudience, clairvoyance, and clairsentience. She is an empath, a medium, as well as a pet communicator and health advisor. Today, we're going to be talking about how to avoid negative energy. Of course, if you want to get in touch with Lana, you can reach out to her at www.enchantedsky.com. That's where you
Yes.
can find everything she does. Welcome.
How are
Good
you?
morning.
How is everybody? Good. For everybody that knows, on TikTok, I'm also on 216 the net. This is a podcast station. It is my podcast that I am doing.
Yes.
I am taping it off onto. I have like four different cameras right now. So I am on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, 216thenet.com, and TikTok. So that's why letting everybody. And by the way, I've got a lot of followers. Now we have an announcement, right, Kent?
Yes.
We are going to move my podcast back to the original time.
Saturday mornings, 9:30 Central.
Yes. That was my original time. I feel comfortable with it. Now you guys might have known, we lost Pete, and it was a conflict with Pete. It was like time stuff. So we are going to move it back. I felt comfortable. I was telling Kent, I'm a Sunday person. I like my Sundays off. And traditionally, I would go to church, go to my grandma's, lay around, watch football. It's my day off.
Fried chicken, the whole works. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're kind of like that. So remember, it's now going to be on Saturday mornings, 9:30 a.m. Central. That's for all the way across the board. Okay. So now what I'm going to be talking about today is negative energy. Now, I was just talking to Ken about it because I think a lot of people know what I'm talking about. A lot of people, they have their own ways of dealing with it. And I would love to hear from you. So if you do have another way that I am not talking about today, please do. And remember, if half an hour in is your free questions. Also want to tell everybody that who is on any of my social media, I'm being copied. And they are literally taking my account, using my logo, and the accounts have a double E with a 0 or a U on the end, and they are not me. I will never reach out to you guys and ask you if you would like to have a reading. You have to come to me. Okay. So that you understand that way I am blocking them. What's really sad about the whole thing is I know who it is a follower who I've done a reading for, and I have their name, their number, their address, and everything, and TikTok does not care. And I will say that on TikTok, I don't care. It makes me angry. So anyway, so what we're going to do is dealing with negative energy. So there you go. So that's exactly what I've been doing this week. Now, this week, so that you guys understand, I also read at a store. And if you guys understand what I mean by a store, it's like a metaphysical store, and you walk in and you actually see people live. Now, I am in the Wisconsin, Chicago area, and there's a lot of stores. I have a good friend that has me read, and I did maybe 6 people there. I 10 to 15 a week by myself, and then I go to other places. And this person drained me. And I'm going to tell you what I did so that you guys know how to protect yourself. Okay. Now, I know some of you guys already know this. Kent, do you know some of this?
A little bit. You and I have talked off camera about this in the
Yeah.
past.
And so here this is what I did. And then I felt immediately that better. Now, if you ever walked in a room and you kind of knew something was up and you didn't know what, but you could feel it, like somebody had been fighting or something like that, that negative energy. And especially if you're an empath, especially if you're a very caring, you want to help everybody type of person. Okay. You'll pick up on that. And this week, like I said, I was at a store and a woman walked in and she fought me on everything I said. Now, as a psychic, we always get these skeptics, but we also get these ones that they're bound to determine they're going to prove us wrong.
Yeah.
And it's a negative energy. And what it does is it literally sucks you dry. And all I know is that after I read for her, I had a headache. And I knew right away I consider, some people call them energy vampires. I don't necessarily call them energy vampires. I just think that there's negativity there. There's a wall up. Here I am trying to read you and you're not letting me. And what it is they're trying to do almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Well, I told you she couldn't read me. It's stuff like that. And it's really draining. And if you guys have been through it and heavy feeling, yes. Off of TikTok, somebody made the comments, a heavy feeling. And these are some of the ways that I have helped myself so that you guys know. Okay. So one of them is now a couple of people do it different ways. Now I have couple of friends. Now I don't do it this way, but they do it this way. They imagine a mirror in front of them. Now it's all imagery. It's all imagery, guys. They're imagining a mirror in front of them and it's bouncing back. The energy bounces back to them to protect them. Now, that one works. And as far as imagery else, I imagine a blue-green pyramid. Now, everybody wonders why blue-green, because blue-green is a healing color. It could be gold too. Gold is a higher vibrational color. When people are in awakenings, I will see that they're gold or yellow. And then they might have a color up down inside. Like it might be purple here and then out here it's all gold. Mm-hmm. They're coming into their gifts, whatever. Anyway, you can imagine either color because that will help you because that way it can't get to you. Okay. So that's a couple of different ways. Another way I also use crystals. Now the crystals that I'm using this is a shungite. It's a shungite. And I've got like Apache tear. You ever heard of Apache tears before?
No.
They're like pieces. They're kind of like volcanic glass globules in like sediment. So you could actually tap them out of rock. So it'll be inside another rock and you tap it and it'll pop out. So yeah, and they call them Apache's tears. I wear that sometimes. My favorite is I like tiger's eye. If you are and by the way, if you are drawn to a certain stone, it's because that stone was meant for you. So whatever you feel, like I am very drawn to shungite. I've actually made many, many, many videos. That's not shungite. Wait, that is shungite. No, that's not shungite. It's hard to tell sometimes. I got a bunch of black ones here. But anyway, this is shungite. Yeah, this is shungite. Shungite's up. Did I ever tell you about shungite?
Yes, man.
Yes.
We did a whole show on it.
Yeah, I had a whole show on it, right? Yeah, it's a rock that it protects from EMFs and radiation, and they actually take it and grind it up and put it in paint around Chernobyl. No joke.
Here's a question for you. This happened to me this week, right?
Okay.
Was headed into a meeting with an individual, and I could feel that it was not going to go well, right? So I felt that negative energy, even like an hour or so, maybe before the meeting was to happen. I still went in, and it went horrible, right? Right. I had to walk out of the meeting, right?
Ooh,
I mean, just get up and walk out. When that happens, how do you avoid that?
How do you avoid that? Couldn't you have just said, you know what? I mean, what you're doing. Remember, we had a discussion, Kent, about you having an awakening and becoming much more intuitive, right?
Yeah.
And if you guys remember, it was right around the time around Thanksgiving, right? And I
Yeah.
said, you're having a spiritual awakening. And I looked at his chart. I didn't even use my psychic ability. I just said, I looked at your chart
Right.
on your astrology chart. Anyway, if it were me and I knew it was going to go bad, reschedule it. Reschedule it. And
And
then go in with and take a different approach, figure out what you need to do and use your intuition, right?
yeah, because I think a lot of us, maybe maybe it's just me, but I think a lot of us that follow you and are learning from you as well, we tend to go, nah, it's just that's something weird,
I
and we
know.
kind of shrug it off, right?
Yeah.
And
You
then,
know what? Um, you know, I agree. I even do it. I will be like, oh my God, am I crazy or what? And I'm a psychic. And I mean, I have it happen to me. And I'm like, but I will tell you that people always ask, do I seem pretty confident in my abilities as far as getting the right messages to people? Because I've been told that I seem very confident. And it isn't that I'm confident, it's just that I know in my heart that
yeah,
spirits never let me down. It's never
right,
let me down. I know for a fact that what they say to me is what's going on. So I go with it. That's probably why I seem confident. It's because I'm confident that my angels and my guides have my back.
sure,
So, and when you get a message like that, like, oh my God, this is going to go terrible. I know it. Or something tells you that, do I would, if I had a message like that, I would literally reschedule it and come up with different ammo. Does that
okay,
make sense?
yeah,
Go about it a different way, or have time to think. Because I don't know about you guys, but when I make a big decision, I don't know if you guys know, but for me personally, when I make a decision, I take 2 days and I sleep on it. I always sleep on it. It's like my higher self is talking to me that way, and I know that.
mhm,
Now, I'm going to tell you, and I don't know what's going on, but something maybe big for me. I'm not sure what it is. But last night, before I was doing this podcast, I had their angels. They were very large. They were angels. And I felt like they were there and they had their hands on my shoulders. So I'm not sure why or what, and I keep saying something is around the corner for all of this.
yeah,
So I'm kind of waiting to see what's going on. As far as um, but anyway, back to the negative energy thing. Now, another way that you can do it there's lots of different ways to just, by imagery. And also just like as a block, you can do that. You can do the stones. You can do it in lots of different ways, but these are the ways that I'm finding that they really work. Now, um not only I just made a video that was on TikTok and it's gone fairly viral. I think it's got like 40,000 hits or something. But talking about some of the negative energy. Now, I want to talk a little bit about energy vampires because we all got them.
yeah,
Okay. And they suck you dry. You guys know what I'm talking about. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. Okay. You realize that they're sneaky, and and usually what it is they'll get to you and you don't see it. And I've been practicing for 25 years, and um I don't realize it's there until it's too late. And then I try to back off, but I do notice that they are probably low vibration. And you know what I mean by low vibration? They're depressed, they're anxious. There's all kinds of different things that can cause a low vibration.
yeah.
But I just that you well, okay, so back to my original story. This is metaphysical meanderings. Um, I meander, you guys. You can tell. I used to do this when I taught too. Um, anyway, this person came in and no, 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 no. And I was like, I knew she was negative and I started not feeling good. I got absolutely tired and got a headache. And when she left, my friend goes, oh my God, she brought that in with her.
Oh,
And I'm like, she goes, I felt it when she walked in the door. And it's
yeah,
a low vibration. There's sometimes, and I wonder sometimes if all of us aren't a little like that Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can't be like this all the time. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I try really hard to keep my vibration up. And anyway, so what was the other things is we cleansed everything. Now
Yeah.
you can say a prayer. You can ask your angels to help you out if you're picking up negative energy. You do have angels and guides. They can help you too. Or you can just do the good old fashioned saging.
Sage. Yeah.
You guys know this, this is just white sage. And yes, and you just light it. And you know what? And they, have you seen the recent research on sage?
No.
Ken? The recent research says that there really is something to saging because it cleans the air at 95% of all germs.
Wow.
And so it really does clean the air.
Right.
So you can't beat that. I can't remember where I saw my recent research, but I'm always watching stuff. I'm always listening for, things like that. So
with those vampires, Jen, good morning, says, have you heard of quote unquote pre-paving the path? If you feel the negativity beforehand, ask the angels to encompass the situation for best possible outcome. Visualize the rest of the day going smoothly. I answer phones at work, and I always pre-pave the day so I get happy customers and never the a-holes.
Yes, you know what? That's on my video on TikTok. Ask the angels. Ask your help. You will be surprised how helpful they are. They really, people don't realize that they're real. And I've actually seen some, and if you guys have been watching some of my videos, and if you've been on my my YouTube, you will see things fly behind me. And when Kent and I blew them up, they look like, it looks like something doing this.
It's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and with wings. And so I think that they're seraphim. Now, I'm not saying I'm so fantastic or anything about it, but like I said, I honestly think that's what they are. I don't know for sure. I know other people that I know I have couple other friends that have TikTok and YouTube accounts, and they've had things. So I think that they're seraphims. We're just catching them. Yeah. Okay.
Kelly, she says, my tiger eye bracelet snapped off while I was in Universal Studios and I felt drained immediately.
Oh, Kelly, you know what? When they snap like that, I've had that happen. I was just getting to that. You guys feed me so good. You do. You really do. I have had several, and I don't like, this is one of them. It's a selenite. Selenite is kind of soft. It'll snap. But I've had some that we had that are this big around, and they completely snap. Now, years ago, when I was in Florida, and I spent a lot of time there, and I was talking to a woman, she had just started. This is when massage therapy was just becoming popular. And she said to me, she held up a bunch of her wands, her massage wands that are made out of crystal. She goes, "What the heck am I doing? Look at this." She says, they're all discolored. They snapped on me. And it took me a minute I thought about it. And then I'm like, wait a minute, you aren't cleansing them. You aren't cleansing them. They're picking up negative energy, guys. And if anybody doesn't believe in the whole thing, I want you to wear a crystal. I want you to go buy a clear crystal for a while. Buy the clear crystal, wear it for a few weeks around somebody that might even be a little negative or a little stressful. You will see them cloud. I don't care what anybody says. I've got some that I've snapped them. I've actually had citrine that are now crystal clear. I've had ones that were crystal clear that are now brown and yellow, almost like a citrine. They change colors. Okay. All right. So that you guys know. All right. But anyway, so back to this. So we're talking about this negative energy thing, and I'm glad somebody fed me as far as the angels, because I got into a discussion. I actually have a moderator now, you guys. I have to have a moderator at this point. This is getting crazy. Anyway, they're moderating any negative comments because I don't have the time to talk and to reach out. I was doing it for myself, and I had a good friend that said they will help me. So if anybody's real negative on here now, I don't have to worry about that anymore. And if you guys know, I was off TikTok for about 3 months because I just was so irritated about some comments that were made that was unnecessary. But I'm back. I'm okay. And now I've got some protection. But anyway, hey, you know what? They're my negativity busters. So There you go. And like I said, surround yourself. I surround myself with friends, I surround myself with angels, and I surround myself with guides. Today I did a read for somebody. I do reads before I do this, by the way, you guys. I'm doing reads in the morning. And she she wanted to know how I was getting some of the things I was getting. And I said, well, that's coming from my spirit guide. And I picked my spirit guide up, by the way, when I was in New Mexico. His name is Dances in the Wind. And I literally picked him up there. And he followed me home. And I've had him and now I've added a new one. And by the way, they change. They do change. Anyway, but they give me protection. They give me answers. And she wanted to know how I was getting stuff so fast. And so I laughed at him, like, because I'm used to doing this kind of like, I used to do this online. So you guys know I used to be online in the UK. I was on one of the psychics on a psychic line in the UK for quite a while. And so I get fast at it. And yeah. So, and they, because people only want to pay for 10 minutes or whatever. And which is fine. But, and I got fast at it. But anyway, she wanted to know how it went so smoothly. It was kind of like that's what she was wondering. And I said, because I've got my protection. So right now I have nothing on, but normally you see me with stones all over the place. I just don't have anything on yet. I usually do. I just didn't today. I'm going to go. I think we're going to take our new puppy to a puppy date to meet her to play with her sister today. So I have a new puppy, by the way. I have a golden retriever puppy. She's actually under my feet right now. She's 13 weeks old now. She's almost house trained. She's doing good. So anyway, so some of the things to do, I'm going to go real quick and then we're almost, oh, thank you. You've got 9 minutes. I have 9 minutes to take everything and then I'm going to take your questions. Okay. Try with a negative. Now it doesn't matter what stone, but I would suggest if you want to absorb negative energy, go with some darker stones. Now that's tourmaline. This is shungite. Like I said, this is Apache tear. Let's see some other black one. Jet. Jet is another one. I believe this might be jet. I think it is. It's jet. You ever hear a jet black? I always wondered what they meant by jet black. I didn't know jet was a stone. And then I saw that. I'm like, that's where they get the color jet black from. Oh, I get it. Yeah. So as an art teacher, I always got to put that little piece in there. And like, look at, hematites, even dark. Something that you want to. And you know what, Kent? You need to get your stone. You keep talking about getting your aqua aura, remember?
I know. I was just actually looking at that the other day. Just saying.
Really? Oh, see, I kind of knew, right?
Yeah.
Literally. So, yeah, literally. Well, yeah. I told you my friend that's been on the podcast will make them for you. She does a really cute job. They're by the way, it's Infinite Soul Vibrations. I'm giving her a plug. InfiniteSoulVibrations.com, and she'll hand make them for you. She'll make them how she feels about you. So, and then she intuitively makes them. And, they got different stones in them and you can ask what stones you want. And it's not that expensive. I think she's $45. It's not expensive at all. No, not at all. And if you want more stones, then you add more money. But yeah. Anyway, so like I said, there's lots and lots of stones. And there's millions. And they keep finding new ones. I have a new one that I don't want to leave the camera, but it's called Euperite. Now you figure that out, Kent. Euperite. Yeah, it's from Upper Michigan. Yeah. They found it looks like a regular granite, but under black light, it glows in the dark.
Oh, cool.
And they just discovered it. It's brand new. And I got a piece. I'm all excited. And yes, it does glow in the dark under black light. I didn't believe it. I was like, really? And so I waited till dark and then I had a little black light on it. And it did. It glowed. But anyway, so there's always new things being found which work. And like I said, like here, look at, this is one that's cracked. This is one of my stones. Look at, I used to have them in, this used to be, this right here used to be in 2 pieces.
Wow. Really?
Wow. Oh yeah, they do. I'm telling you that it does happen. They crack really easy. Right now I've got them in a bowl. By the way, do you ever want to cleanse your crystals really fast? See, I'm already out of time almost already. Yeah. Put them, you can put them in a salt bath. You can put them out in the sun. I like to put mine in the sun, but you can also buy one of these. It is made out of selenite, out of salt. So that's where I put my stones to keep my stones clear. Now people are like, well, what do you mean by this? Why would you use selenite? Why would you? Because selenite is salt and it has ions in it. It has positive ions because you've been drained. All that there's lots of negative ions and stuff. And there's ions. It needs more positive charging. So by putting it in a bowl like this, see, selenite bowl, you can get them anywhere. I should be like advertising this stuff and selling it, right? But it's okay. Anyway, it's not what it's about.
DB says, how would I know if someone is doing or has done any negative work?
Are you asking as in spells? That's a very good question.
Yeah.
First of all, I don't believe in spells because they only work if you think they're going to work.
Yeah.
Now, backstory. I have somebody that's been trying to cast a spell on me for years. And I know it. And I know that they felt it. It never got to me. Matter of fact, did the opposite.
Yes.
But yeah, it'll do the opposite. But to let you know that the mind is so strong that if you believe it will work, it will work. And so that's why people behave that way.
Like with
I'm always yeah, I'm always in this attitude. It ain't gonna work, bud. It isn't gonna work. I got too much protection, and I truly believe, without any doubt, that I have protection. So, and I've never had a problem. But like I said, it's a long story. This person, it's a long. I have to fill you guys in. It would take you an hour to fill in about it. And I have had people do things. Now listen if you feel like you've got some negative energy being targeted at you and you want this person out of your life, this is psychological. This isn't magical. Okay. Take and either systematically get a candle, like a white candle and a black candle, and burn their name on a piece of paper. Or this is what I do. Take their name, write it on a piece of paper, and put it in a block of ice and stick it in your freezer. You've kind of frozen them. They're no good to you now. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's not magic. It's psychological. Well, I took care of them, didn't I? I'm telling you, it works. And 90% of this is all the power of the mind anyway, right?
Right.
We are a piece of God, right? Right there, right in this, right? Okay. So let's see. Let me see. As our people gonna, okay. Yes, you will get some readings soon, you guys. Give me a couple more minutes. I've got lots and lots of people that are on that are asking questions. Good.
Ida was wondering what the strongest stone to protect us against negative energy and people who are plotting bad stuff behind your back.
Good question, Ida.
In the workplace, especially.
Ida, how's your pregnancy going? I hope you're good. I would say it depends on the person. You have to, whatever rock you're drawn to is the rock that you would use. Now, some people suggest, I had one of my friends one time said to me, she was doing a channeling. Remember, all of my friends are psychic too. And she said, you know what? You really need shungite. And I had never heard of it before. And once I got it, I like fell in love with it. And I'm like, you're right. It's whatever you're drawn to. Like I said, for some reason, I love tiger eye, but a good protection also is amethyst. Believe it or not, it helps produce positive energy. I have one I wore for years and years and years when I taught in school in Rockford, and it finally broke. It finally cracked, and it was just little like that, but it got clouded. It turned white actually, and it got like white streaks in it and stuff. But that's a good stone. But good question, Ida. It depends on what you want. Like I said, now you'll see me wearing, if you want to amplify your positive energy, wear a clear one. If you want to get rid of somebody else's negative crap, wear a dark one. That's the general rule, but not always. But I would say I do a combination. So you'll see me usually wearing 2 or 3 of them. I usually do. I just don't today. I was outside with my chickens. It's spring, So, and I don't care what anybody says it's spring, because this morning I saw birds breeding. They're getting ready to lay, their tweet has changed, and they were mating this morning. I say, if you guys don't know how birds mate, they fly into each other. So that was exactly what was going on. And so I know in my heart, I was right. I told you we were having an early spring, and I'm not a psychic who would say that.
Shayna asked, have you worked with Moldavite? If I said
yes, Moldavite. I do have a Moldavite. Oh, I have one that I wear. Moldavite is really just a piece of asteroid, right? You guys do know that, right? Moldavite was really hot on TikTok for a while, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's expensive because it really is a piece of asteroid. But and a lot of people love it. I'm okay with it, but I do have a piece of it. A friend of mine, I have many friends in this business who have stores, stuff like that. She got a bunch in and she called me. She's up in the Dells. And she called me. She's like, I got Moldavite. I got some really good high quality. And it was really, really high metal. And which is really good. That's desirable in Moldavite. And she's like, do you want a piece? Save it for me. I'll be there. And so I came up and got it. And I have it in a necklace in one of those cages that you pull apart. You stick the stone in. And so I just don't have it on. So yeah. All right. With that said, let's see. Oh my gosh, look at
Yeah.
you know, you guys know that I have made my show 15 minutes shorter. Now I could talk forever, and you guys, sorry, and yet I'm an ambivert. I was thinking about that today. I like to be.
People are calling in already. That's why we shortened it to 45 minutes.
That wasn't for an appointment. Sorry, but it's about that time. So there we go.
So this is the time where we ask that you ask the psychic. Yes. Now, again, we want you to be very specific. We're closing in on 1 million listeners, followers. Yes. We've got 8, 10 different channels going on. I don't know about 8 or 10, but we've got a whole bunch of different channels going on. So there's a lot of energy being transferred. So we really need you to say, hey, here's what I need, not, hey, what do you see in my future? Right. So,
yes.
So we need that.
Don't do general stuff. I can't. There's too many people watching. Like I said, for my people, I know TikTok can hear you, Kent, but they can't see you. If you'd like to see my co-host and see me live on there, 216thenet.com or YouTube, Lana's and Janet's Guy. I'm there also. Anyway, so my first question, will we become grandparents soon, in about 2 years, Lori? About 1.5 to 2 years. Okay. So next.
DB asks, what does it mean when out of nowhere I hear voices like someone is talking and having a conversation and there's no one else around? I'm not the only one who's heard it. My husband heard it before too.
Okay, so it could be a haunting. Okay, so you understand a haunting where it can be a ghost, and it can also be an impression in time. You guys ever hear where ghosts always do the same thing, the same time, the same night? That's an impression in time, and it's overlapping. There's differences. And then it could even be a spirit from the other side. It could be if your husband's heard it, it's probably a spirit. It's probably a ghost. If it's just you hearing it, it's probably your spirit guide or an angel. Angels have talked. I mostly get angels making me feel a certain way, but I know they do talk. And they've given me information. So it could be any of those, but most likely you have a haunting of some sort. If you'd like to remember, when you have a haunting, you guys, you can get rid of it. I can't do this and I'm scared and it scratched me. Well, one, cross your hands and say you aren't touching me. You have to remember, you're alive, they are dead. You have more energy and you control the situation. I don't care what anybody says. I clear houses all the time. I go in and I've never had a problem because they know I've got control and I'm confident of it. Tell them to leave. They will leave. And I've also told people to also make sure if you've got a ghost and you don't care they're there. I've got a ghost in my house. It's the lady that used to own the house. You leave my children alone. She was scaring my kids. I'm like, you don't go around scaring my kids. You will leave. I will make you leave. So you better behave. And I had a problem to this day. And I know she's still here.
There you go.
So, yep. Okay. So let's see what else we got.
Sharon Adcock says that California is in full bloom spring. You're right.
Yep. Well, it's usually March or April we get it. And it's hitting the third week of February. I mean, it is supposed to be like 50 degrees this week, isn't it?
Yep, 50 degrees this week.
I'm going to be putting out my greenhouse. I remember you guys, I also have I should be a master gardener. I don't have the time to put in, but I love the garden and I grow plants and hostas and stuff. And I'm putting my stuff out in the greenhouse this week.
Anna Iva says, good morning, in Lana. Any chance to reconnect with B in February, March? He is a man. Thank you.
It'll be later than that, Ann. It would be later and it would be more. You may hear from him in April. And I say may. There's some reason why it's up in the air. It's a free will thing. And you may hear in April, first week of April or so. Okay. Good. All right. Back to TikTok. Will you ever get married again? You better believe it. But you're going to be much older. Jamie, I'm talking like 40. And so if you aren't now and you're in your 40s, then it'll be soon. But otherwise, I mean, it'll be a long time. I feel like you don't really even want to unless you found the right person anyway. And this person is the right person for you. Okay.
Awesome.
All right.
Shayna asks, Bengals or Rams?
Okay. Oh, the Bengals are the Rams. I think the Rams.
There you go.
It feels like there's my the Bengals want it really bad, but I feel like I think it's really a close game by a field goal or so.
Awesome.
Now I haven't now I'm not betting, so probably I'm right. Because if I bet it, it'll be the absolute opposite. You guys do know that, right? I mean, have you ever tried that before?
Oh, yeah.
Especially as a psychic, and you bet on it, you lose because you know what? My talent is not for myself.
Yeah.
So if I try to do something like that, it doesn't work. So, but I think the Rams.
There you go.
By 3. I don't know. We'll see. Now watch. It's wrong, but it's okay. That's what it feels like. So
Who knows?
okay. All right.
Me. Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I have an interesting question on here. I have several paths. I'm a psychic. I talk with animals, mediumship, feel torn. Which one's first? You are the least popular would be, I would, if you're going to make a business, go with, would be talking with animals. It's a very fast growing area because I do animal communication and animal trainers. And you would be shocked. Go into a veterinary, like a holistic veterinary practice and ask. They will love you to be there because I've gone in and asked and read for people there. And it's a good way to start your business too. Just a thought. Okay.
There you go. Right. May Kopanen asks, hello, Lana. My boss will talk with me about my contract tomorrow. Will I get the contract with the pay I want?
Yep.
Awesome. Congratulations.
It won't be more, but it'll be what you want. Might be just a touch, but it's still good. It's still fine. Okay. All right.
Awesome.
All right. Let's see what else questions we got here. Any chance you're going to find property this month? Mid-March, so it's coming. Maybe the second week of March, around the 10th to 12th. Okay. All right.
Anna Vaughn says, am I going to have a new normal relationship with someone and when?
A normal relationship. What's normal, Anna?
That's right.
Yes. I feel like I don't always believe in like finding them on the internet, but I think you're gonna somehow. And I don't know how you're gonna run into them. Or might even be somebody from their past you run back into. I shouldn't say never because I have a couple of friends that got married from meeting people on Tinder. So it does work. It does work. In about a year, before the end of the year, I think something might be significant for you. Okay, Anna. But I feel like you don't put yourself out there. You need to put yourself out there on purpose because, I can say anything. And remember, it's free will. Now, as a medium, I'm 100%. Am I, as a psychic, probably 80 because it's free will. So if I say, there's a guy coming at the end of the year and you go hide your head in the sand, then there's nothing, you know what I'm saying? Not that you would, Anna, I mean it like that. So she's a follower. I know her pretty well.
Of course, you're listening to 21.6 Net. This is Metaphysical Meanderings. This is a part where we have a chance to ask Master Psychic Lana Duncan-Hartgraves a question. But if we don't get to your question, don't get upset. You can always reach her at, if you look right over there you go, www.enchantedsky.com, and you can book a time for a reading. And she's also got Metaphysical You out there. I mean, there's a lot of good things. I would definitely, the other thing that I would say is like and subscribe to her TikTok, like and subscribe to her YouTube, like and subscribe to our YouTube. These are all things that can help you as she does daily card readings and things like that. She shares so much. If you're not subscribed to her on one of those platforms, you're missing out a lot.
Oh, thank you. You always make me like blush a little, like
It's true though, right? You give and give and give. It's amazing.
I try. Like I said, there are people that I guess imitation is the best form of flattery, because I got three different accounts floating around.
Yeah.
Please be careful on TikTok. It has a double E. There's a double E with a 0 and a U on the end of Enchanted Sky.
Yep.
So they are not me, and I will never, ever reach out to ask a reading. This is what this person does. This person says, I feel drawn to you. I want to give you a reading for $135. That's what they're doing. And I'm like, I would never do that. You come to me, and it's on a secured website. Did I tell you that I have a cybersecurity expert who's watching my stuff for me now?
Yes, you did.
Yes, I did, because I had to. But it's a very good friend. He's into this too, and I'm on his website and on his podcasts and stuff too. So yeah. So anyway, all right. Let's see. What questions should we? Okay, should we move back to Oklahoma? I don't think you're going to.
Oh,
to move somewhere else.
Yep. Sharon Adcock says, can you have the same spirit guide as your family member?
Oh God, yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, because I remember really fast. You've got like all different. You could have you have an ancestral guide. You have a regular spirit guide. That one's one that's been alive before, but in a human form, but he's acting as a guide. Could even be a twin flame. A lot of times they are a twin flame. Then you've got your angels, you've got your archangels, you've got your animal spirit guides, and then you've got like fantasy ones. This is the one I added recently, because I'm convinced that you've got fantasy creatures because remember, they're tulpas. Now you know what a tulpa is, right? Ken, I've told you that before, right?
Yes.
Okay. A tulpa is something that all humans have imagined for so long they become real. And a lot of people, that's what people think Bigfoot is. But anyway, and a tulpa, that's why if these things aren't fairies that fly around me all the time, I had one live the other day about a week ago again. It flew right behind me, and it does this, and it's white, and they fly right behind my head. I think that they're guides also. So, okay.
Alex Polkowski, good morning, brother, says, can you predict when Kent will grow hair again? Never.
You guys are on TikTok. Kent does not have any hair. He's shaved it all off. But you have plenty of facial hair, though.
That's where it all drops down from the top of the head to the cheeks.
There you go. Well, you have to have someplace you can grow it, right? There
That's
you
go. Right.
Let me see. I don't know,
Brenda Wilson says, hi, am I supposed to be with Cliff? Brenda Wilson.
Yes.
Nice.
But it's very tumultuous. It's coming from a past lifetime.
There we go.
And if you can't work this out, is he with somebody else right now? I kind of feel like there's a third person involved in that whole thing. But he's got a lot of karma to work out, but he's got some issues that I don't know if if you're supposed to be together, if he can work, he can grow up and do what he's supposed to do. But if not, don't be waiting around for him. It'll come back again. It's karmic. Okay.
There you go.
All right. Let's see. Will you meet your new girlfriend soon? That is Rick. In about springish. If you're out in California, it might be now. It's getting warm. So April, maybe. I know I always do that. I go by the seasons. Oh, it feels like winter, or it feels like spring, or sorry, it's Anyway.
Hearts Love Joe asks, will Jackson be asking me to go out on a date with him soon? Curious because he hasn't responded to me yet and expresses feelings towards me.
Not soon, but you are going to go out. I would say it's going to take up he's got things he's working on. He's got something. There's something like very stressful for him right now. I don't know what it is. If it's a job at school, it's something that's stressful. And no offense, he'll get to you. He's just got to get all that energy clear. Here we go with negative energy. Get it cleared.
Yep.
And then yes. Okay. All right.
Got a couple minutes left, so let's get a couple more readings in there.
40. Will I get the home in North Carolina applied for? Yes. Yes.
All right. Beautiful.
It's that simple. That was an easy one, right? Yeah.
Ellie Furman says, will my neighbor ever leave me alone? She keeps sending me negative vibes.
Do what I'm telling you to do, and don't even look her way. Okay? Burn sage, do whatever, and don't even look at her. I think it'll eventually is she jealous of you? there's some type of negative emotion with that, Kelly. I'm not sure why I'm picking that up. There's some type of negativity emotionally that's involved with it. And that's where it's coming from. Because we all know that negativity stems from negative emotions, right? So yeah.
All right. Alex does ask a serious question. He says, my Uncle Tim just passed away. We don't know what happened. Is there something that we can learn from you?
Ooh, I'd have to concentrate on this a little while. Alex, I see. Did he like to wear a hat? I want to say, you don't know what he passed from. I think it was his heart. I think he had a heart attack or an aneurysm. It's something to do with like blockage or something. Something to do with his heart.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's him, he's wearing a hat. He wears a baseball cap or something. I feel like there's a hat. He has a hat on. If that's who that is, let me know. But I feel that's what it is.
Or you
Okay.
can reach out to her at
Yes.
enchantedsky, for a reading. She can focus in a little bit with not so much energy
Yes.
and whatnot.
Yeah, you guys remember I got what
Yeah.
we were nearly at a million, and that was 3 or 4 months ago.
Mhm.
So we
Yeah.
don't know. One of these days we'll figure out how to get the numbers back, right, Ken?
Yep.
Yeah.
So Brenda, just as we're closing up the show here, because we have reached that 45-minute mark, says
Yeah.
so spot on. Thanks. He's so childish, but older
Oh.
than me. And I figured he has old flames still in the picture. I think I'm done as time for now. Right?
Good,
Yeah.
Brenda. Oh, I'm spot on. Thank you. I
Very
tried
good.
to be. It's hard with all the energy going on, and I got 4 different screens. So
All right, that is going to do it for us for this week. Now,
Hey, guys.
folks, once again, remember, next week we're moving back to the original time slot
Yes.
of 9:30 Central
30
a.m. on Saturday.
Yes.
Saturday. So we'll see
And
you
that's
on
where it's going to stay. It's not moving anymore.
That's
It's
right.
just
We're
we had it because we've had some bad situations happen, as you guys know, at the podcast studio.
Yep,
So
we're digging in.
so
We're
COVID,
digging in our heels. We're staying there. Going back to the original 9:30 a.m. on Saturday morning.
Yep.
For all of us here at 21.6 The Net, thanks so much for getting caught in the net. Thank you so much for everything you do. Remember, reach out to Lana at www.enchantedsky.com. And you can click all of her social medias to follow, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Do it for us too here at 21.6 The Net. Folks, be good and be good to each other.